What is up, my tribal people? Welcome back to the Pree Da Production YouTube channel. I'm your host, Majaro, aka Midge, and you already know what I'm going to say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to kind of grow the community, and by sharing this with friends and family, that goes a long way in helping us do that. Leaving a super thanks is much appreciated. Now, let's get into the video. So, over the past couple of weeks, the UK has been recovering, reacting, rallying. Over the past weeks, there was a attack in Southport, England, where 3 innocent children were deleted and several others injured in a stabbing attack. When I first heard the story, I was shocked. I was dismayed. I was thinking, where is Southport? Where is it? Is it nearby? Is it, local? Is it where my family is at? Who are these people that have been, attacked? Then I read up on the history, on the timeline of everything, and I was just saddened. I felt horrible because the circumstances of, that attack, that could have been anywhere. That could have been anyone's children, anyone's daughter, anyone's son, thinking, they're going with their mom or they're going with their dad to child-friendly event activity, whether it's dancing, whether it's football, and to think an attack like that can happen at any moment. It was just very, very worrying, troubling, and concerning. I know the UK has had a lot of problems when it comes to knife crime and knife-related violence. It's something that the UK government have not really attempted to tackle properly, whether it's issuing certain bans on certain types of, weapons that are being sold on the internet, whether it's higher punishments or criminal sentences for carrying those specific weapons that are very harmful, and you can't just get poked with that and think, oh yeah, I'm gonna survive, all you need is a couple of stitches. No, it's most likely fatal. I'm not too sure on the details of what weapon was used in this specific instance, but regardless, it's just not something you'd want to hear, want to see, want to even look into. But I've been doing my research, and it seems that a lot of people are angry, rightfully so. A lot of people are angry. How is this allowed to happen? But it feels like most of the people that are angry aren't even the people from the local area. It seems like a lot of people that have the most to say and the most to do, it seems like it's the far-right nationalist extremists who are protesting, and I use the word protesting loosely because these aren't protests that, start off peaceful and then, police violence intervenes and, things get said and things get choked and then it ends up being violent. No, these are riots. Let's be honest, these are riots by some hard done by British extremists. Let's hear what Phil has to say and let him break it down for us.
We have got to talk about what is happening in the UK right now. Because the scenes that we saw last week in Southport, right, far-right extremists targeting mosques, setting fires, and clashing with police officers, well, we're now seeing that across the country. And so much of this goes back to the misinformation that came out around that horrible mass stabbing that happened in Southport on July 29th. Because that's when a knife-wielding teenager killed 3 children and injured several others at a Taylor Swift-themed dance and yoga workshop. With the authorities there pretty quickly confirming that 17-year-old suspect was born and raised in Britain. But despite that, online rumors had already begun swirling that the killer was actually an undocumented immigrant, with several far-right figures falsely claiming the suspect was a Muslim man who had arrived in the UK illegally. And so then with that, you had
And that's where it stems from. This whole riot session by these thugs claiming they're fighting for some sort of policy changes, right? Because I haven't heard them once talk about any policy changes. Like, there's no spokesperson, there's no group. I mean, even the person that they can claim to be like, oh yeah, he's our leader, he's not even in a fucking country. He's in Spain in this villa living it up. Spanish summertime over there, Tommy Robinson's villa, right? So the whole reason everything escalated to this moment was because of misinformation. First of all, it goes around that he's a refugee, that he came here last year and he's been housed under, he's been housed by the government, and he's been on their radar for suspicious activity, and they had him on a database, X, Y, and Z. That's all cap. That was all false. Him being a man was clearly not correct, because from my understanding, he's 17. That's hardly a man, right? Let's not do that. It's already a tragic event. Let's not do that. And to think the people that are suffering the most at this moment in time are being forgotten about because some kids essentially are going on a mad session, destroying buildings, targeting communities that have nothing to do with this. You can't predict what happened. I don't want to say you can't prevent it, but it's hard to prevent what happened. Someone probably told him, oh, it's just, some little kid coming, probably trying to pick up his sister or something. And then for him to do that, no one can foresee that. And from what I hear, there was a lot of, adults trying to protect a lot of kids and get them away from the attacker, and they got injured themselves. But to try and blame this on a whole community or a whole nationality or a whole ethnic group or a whole religious group, targeting mosques and places of worship all over the country, not even destroying property, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's just stupid. All based off a lie that they told themselves. That's the thing. These lies were perpetrated by their own leaders and their own thought leaders. This was just an excuse to do what they wanted to do.
Right, anti-immigrant extremist groups urging their followers to take to the streets, and they listened. For just a day after the stabbings, while over 1,000 people showed up for a peaceful vigil for the victims, a group of these extremists showed up at a nearby mosque. And by the end of that, reportedly 5 people were arrested, 53 police officers were injured, and a town already reeling from violence was shaken even further. But the reason we're talking about this again is it did not end there. With these types of protests, they've come to more than a dozen cities across England and the rest of the UK. On Saturday, for example, 35 were arrested in what's been described as a day of staggering violence in the city of Middlesbrough. And then yesterday, rioters in a town called Rotherham assaulted a hotel that's been used for housing asylum seekers, with that incident leading to at least 6 arrests as well as 12 officers being injured. And then with all that...
Just deep it. You're going out there to, protest what exactly? Protesting immigration policies, right? And then you're targeting migrants that are already here because of what? These migrants aren't working. These migrants are probably being there processed, peaceful, not harming nobody. Haven't got any connection to this person. This person was born and made in the UK. So you can't say he's an illegal immigrant. Oh, you just don't like that. What his heritage from? That's what it is. You just don't like that he's black and from somewhere else. Come on. How many white murderers have you seen? How many British murderers have there been, and there will continue to be? I don't see you rioting for those victims. Oh, but because the person that did this is of a different color and of a different ethnicity, now you want to pick up your torches and riot for the innocent. Save me your tears. Save me your whining, because it's not genuine. It's not genuine. Where was this energy when loads of victims in the past had come? Where was this energy? It doesn't align with the agenda, because the agenda comes first. This isn't about Southport and that community. This is about what you want to achieve, what message you want to send out by doing these foolish acts. It's just so, I don't even want to say disappointing, because I haven't got anything to expect from them, but it's just such a shame that a moment that could bring people together and trying to get some reform for knife crime as a whole. I understand this might be unpreventable, but when it comes to overall knife crime and education and prevention, and to look at and workshop some, potential solutions or safeguards against something like this happening. Instead of talking about that, we're talking about these foolish idiots on the streets destroying the communities that they come from, potentially. Make it make sense.
Police have reportedly arrested more than 420 people across the country so far. Dozens appearing in court today, some already pleading guilty. You've also got British Prime Minister Keir Starmer saying in a statement yesterday that those who have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law. And notably saying they would regret taking part, quote, whether directly or those whipping up this action online and then running away themselves. And then with all this, finally saying,
we've seen Muslim communities targeted, attacks on mosques, other minority communities singled out, Nazi salutes in the street, attacks on the police, wanton violence alongside racist rhetoric. So no, I won't shy away from calling it what it is. Far-right thuggery.
And notably, we also had the guy whose job he took, right, former PM Rishi Sunak, saying the unrest had nothing to do with the tragedy in Southport. And adding there that the police, he said, have our full support to deal with these criminals swiftly. And so with that, you also had the government there announcing that after an emergency meeting today, police will have access to a, quote, standing army of specialist officers to deal with the riots. Adding to an announcement made yesterday that mosques in the country would be offered greater protection with new emergency security in light of recent attacks. But then also with all this, you had a lot of people saying this is something the UK should have been ready for. This including people like Julia Ebner, the leader of the Violent Extremism Lab at Oxford, telling The Guardian. It feels like it was only a matter of time before we saw something like this in the UK. But they're specifically there talking about how an alternative information ecosystem has been created on apps like Telegram and Gab. But they're also going on to describe how these apps have proven to be breeding grounds for the types of far-right conspiracy and extremist ideologies that drove the violence over the past few days. Where they're then saying, and then from these alternative outlets, it's carried on to X or onto the mainstream social media platforms.
It's crazy, you know. Ignorance begets ignorance. Ignorance needs a feeding ground where no other information can penetrate the buffoonery. The only thing that can beat ignorance is education. And if there's no education happening in these spaces, in these closed echo chambers like Telegram and whatever Gap is, right? If this is the rhetoric that's going on those platforms, everyone inciting violence, inciting hatred, racism, xenophobia, frenzying each other up to say, okay, let's get to the streets and let's let them have a piece of our mind type shit, right? That's the only way these people feel comfortable taking these actions, because when you open up to the platform on a main stage or a mainstream platform where people can comment and say, yo, that's stupid because this is the history behind why these people are here, why so many people want to come here, because resources have been taken from that country and been put into this country. So the people that are coming here are only trying to, you know, chase a dream that was sold to them by their invaders in the first place. So there's a whole load of things that can be educated to these people to make them understand. But that's the thing, they don't want to understand. They want to be ignorant. They want to remain ignorant. They just want this utopia of whatever they're dreaming of to come true. But when you ask them, what do you want to come true? They don't really have an answer. They just said, oh, just stop people coming over the border. Okay, so that what? You can get jobs? Yeah, we want jobs. We don't want these immigrants taking our jobs. Okay, what jobs do you want to be? Oh, I want to be a pharmacist. I want to do, I want to be a doctor. I want to be X, Y, and Z. Okay, have you got any qualifications for that? Well, no, I haven't got that. Have you trained for that? Oh, no, I haven't trained for that. Are you looking to train for that? Well, money's tight, X, Y, and Z. Okay, how come when you were younger you didn't put yourself, or what did you want to do when you were younger? Oh, I wanted to do X, Y, and Z that everyone else wanted to do, whether it was a footballer, a gamer, or, I don't know, just something entertaining. But when they come into real life and realize, oh, it's not going to be as easy as that. Oh, okay, I'm in a bad situation. I didn't really prepare for this. I didn't really prepare for that. My family didn't prepare for this X, Y, and Z. Oh, now I'm struggling. Now I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to pick up litter. I don't really want to do nails. I don't really want to cut hair. I don't really want to collect pins. I don't really want to drill holes. I mean, this reminds me of that time that interviewer interviewed a far-right activist. And then she asked him, oh, so what's the reason you're unemployed and why do you feel like these immigrants and migrants are taking your jobs?
How important an issue is immigration to you?
Well, I can't get a job. They come to this country and they can just get a job just like that.
So when you apply, what do they say to you?
Well, I've got a criminal record. Assault.
Assault?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Well, I've been out of prison now 3 years now.
And so you blame immigrants rather than your criminal record.
Point, you had Joel Mulhall, the director of one charity campaigning against racism and fascism, claiming that X has become a central space for the spreading of dangerous disinformation and the promotion of the protests, saying a number of the most important figures spreading disinformation and exacerbating tensions had previously been deplatformed on X, but had been given their accounts back since Elon Musk took control of the platform, and saying this has resulted in far-right extremists once again being able to reach millions of people with their dangerous and divisive propaganda.
And like I said, I'm not the one for cancel culture, but if you've had numerous strikes against your names, numerous chances, numerous issues, numerous problems that this person has caused, get them out of here. Get them out of here. The hate that they're inciting, Tommy Robinson specifically, the views that they have when it comes to not even the views, the misinformation, because anyone could have views, but if you're trying to back up your views with facts and evidence, and those facts and evidence are false, then come on. You're just lying out here now. You're just willfully lying just to draw up some agenda.
And then actually, with that, we saw Musk getting more directly tied up in this UK stuff himself. But for example, yesterday he shared a video showing footage of rioting, claiming that it was the result of migration and open borders, with him writing civil war is inevitable. And that actually got a response from the UK government, with one spokesperson saying there's no justification for comments like that, and adding anyone who stokes this violence, whether on the internet or in person, can be prosecuted and face prison. But as we wait to see how all this develops online and in real life, and also just, legally, of course, one, I'd love to know everyone's thoughts here, but also two, if you live in the UK, I definitely would love to hear from you in those comments down below.
And just to wrap things up, Charlotte found a post that basically explains how we all feel when it comes to this.
Let me tell you, dirty, dingy, dusty, racist something, yeah? You want to start racist riots around the UK, but you don't know your history. Well, I'm here to give you a history lesson. The reason why immigrants came to this dusty, dingy country is because half of your men were wiped out by World War II. They didn't do it because they wanted equality. They didn't do it because they wanted diversity. They wanted black people to come over to this country and rebuild it again. And you want to know the real reason why you won World War II is because India, India sent around 1.2 million Indians to come and fight the fucking fight because they were part of the Commonwealth, you understand? So if you knew your fucking history, you wouldn't be going after immigrants so fucking hard. America didn't save your ass, but it was India, yeah? And you're talking about you want your jobs back. What fucking jobs are you talking about? Where are they? Are they on Indeed? Are they on Total Jobs? Where are they? Because there's 9 million jobs, that you can access, that you can fucking apply for. So where the fuck are these immigrants taking jobs? What, you want toilet cleaning? You want office cleaning jobs? You want carer jobs? You want car wash jobs? You want nail salon jobs? You want barbershop jobs. That's what you're angry about. The reason why you don't have those fucking jobs is because you don't have the skill set. You don't add to anything. You are laborers. That is what your history is known for. You are factory workers. You are miners. Most of you work in construction because you can't string a sentence together. But you want to target fucking immigrants. How dare you? Let me tell you something else. The reason why you don't have jobs is because the UK don't export anything. They don't build cool. They don't do cool. And they don't invent cool. And you people ain't gonna work for £5 an hour in a factory. You're best staying on benefits. So instead of being angry at the immigrants trying to make an honest living, I suggest you look towards the Houses of Parliament because those are the people who put you in poverty. And you can throw all the racist parties you want. We ain't f***ing going anywhere, so get f***ing used to it. And if it weren't for the immigrants that came over here and made your country great again, you'd be living with animals, pigs and shit. Do you understand? Oh. And the homeless and the toothless can't tell me shit about this country. This is my country now. Do something. And I'm not talking about all white people. I'm talking about racist white people. And if you feel offended by this video, then it's you and me I talk to.
And with that being said, let me know what you think about this whole situation in the comments below. And as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
I be killing all my foes, even though I got it all on my own. Success sweet, yeah, it tastes like honeycomb. Dropping blood, tears, and even breaking bones. I'm sipping on Patron while aiming for the throne. I've been to hell and back and even call it home.